Welcome back to another episode of the Williford Brothers. We are your show hosts, Luke and
Lee Williford.
We are here. It is what monthly?
What month is it? What year is it? February.
The days and months and weeks run together. We've had a busy schedule.
Yep.
I got back from a cruise last week, which was fun. This episode is just going to catch you up.
That's why he's got all the energy today.
This episode is going to catch you up on what we've been up to. We've opened, since our last episode, 3 new locations.
Yep.
Wow.
And transformed.
Like Steve Urkel used to say, didn't I do that?
Yeah.
Sometimes I ride around and I'm like, man, I remember that one, and thankfully we're able to concentrate on some of the new locations because we have wonderful staff members. Once we put things in place,
yes,
we've got a system. But let's talk about the new locations, I guess.
Yeah.
So late, let's see what that was, November or was it the month? October. October reached out to a friend of mine in the laundry business, actually reached out to our broker, Neil, who does an awesome job. Called him.
Yep,
I said,
Grant Murray in Fayetteville. There's
a store near us that we'd love to acquire. We knew that the owner owned the laundromat. We found out that one store right near that had closed down, and that was actually listed by a distributor.
Yep. So which is what piqued our interest. We said, oh, okay, let's go see, because they wanted to get us in their lease space.
Yeah, which is literally 100 feet, like
I could throw a baseball and hit the other store.
So they're literally really close. So they demoed that. So we went and looked at that. We called the landlord or property company, and we're like, a laundromat's not going to go back in here. There's one 100 feet from it. That's a nice freestanding big store. What are the 3,600 square feet?
Yep.
So anyway, Neil called the owner and said, Luke, there is interest there and in selling. And he said, but only if you'll simultaneously buy another location that's the exact same footprint. So the same building, 3,600 square feet.
Yep.
One was in Lumberton, North Carolina. One was in Laurinburg.
Yep.
Never been to Laurinburg in my life. I said, well, where's Laurinburg? So it's about 40 minutes from Lumberton.
Yeah,
we have
I-74.
We have 2 stores already in Lumberton when we were looking for this third one, and those were high-turn stores. So we wanted to get this other store. So we were able to do that. And how we did it was he came back to us and he gave us a number, and we were like, and Neil had said he's not going to come off this. This is what he'll sell, the business and the real estate. We knew it needed a complete retool. One of the funny things was that he had just ordered $100,000 worth of equipment.
Yes. That hadn't been installed yet.
Yeah, but his manager wanted to go ahead and install that equipment. So they went ahead and installed that equipment. We closed a few weeks later and uninstalled all that equipment.
It was about, 2 weeks.
Shout out to Low Laundry, Todd Finner, Oren, some of those guys. They actually bought the complete package of both stores from us at a wholesale price.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of those pieces, I'm sure, relisted for sale. Or actually, he sells a lot of it before he even purchases it from me, which is fine. Gets it out of the way for us, and we ordered brand new complete Dexter stores. And we've never done this, but we did the same store twice in 2 different towns.
At the same time, almost.
Almost at the same time.
So wrapped up with one and started the other.
Yeah, which we did those in about, I guess it was like 3 weeks each one.
Yeah.
So demo, install new, fix things up. We actually changed the layout as well. The layout was kind of horrible because they had a lot of dead ends on their bulkheads, and things were just not running how we would have chosen.
You can always tell when you walk in a store, and you can see when a distributor designed the layout of a laundromat. There's not a lot of open space. There's dead ends, peninsula-style bulkheads. And so whenever you're looking at designing a store, just make sure that you take your customer's perspective and think about, okay, well, if I'm going to walk around this space, how am I going to get from one place to another, from my big washers to my dryers?
And literally 1,000 square feet of that laundry was full of knick-knack games, pool tables.
Yeah. The claw games.
Gumball, all
games.
sorts of video games. And I had to kindly share with that guy we wouldn't be doing that anymore. And he's like, why not? It makes you $200 a month. Yeah. So you're basically paying me $200 for 1,000 square feet.
Yep.
So
that rent rate does not work.
It does not make sense. So we were able to pull those out, really expand the layout of the store, change it a bit. Chris, I'll share with you some pictures and the layout before and after, and maybe you can share them in the video portion of this. And I'll try to get some before, during, and afters, which I took pictures as well as videos. We've just got to get those put in the YouTube videos. So we'll try to do that to share. But one of them in Lumberton, since we already have a location there, we call Laundry Express. That one we did first. And has revenue changed at all? We only had these stores like a week or two.
Crazy.
And they were on coin. And they were doing, what, $3,500?
Yep.
$4,000 a week, something like that, and we were able to double that.
We have
so we have 100%
increase in both stores. Not just one store, in both stores.
And so I would say, well, Lee, did that cripple your other two stores there? Did that take revenue from them? Where did that new revenue come from? The listener's going to say, where did that come from? Is it just the price increase? What made that happen?
So we have found that whenever we take over a store like that, there is so much market in that market that you do not know about. When you make the task of doing laundry easier, all of a sudden people say, oh, well, I have this to wash and this to wash, or I used to wait and take it over here, and sometimes I'd do it in my house. But when you make the task of doing laundry easier, all of a sudden you create more laundry and you capture more laundry. So there's kind of this double whammy where you get twice as much bang for your buck. People are creating more laundry and they are coming to you because you're the best in town. You provide the easiest, simplest, cleanest, safest process for getting their laundry clean.
Love it. So the listener's going to say, I'll play listener for a minute. How many machines did you put in there? What was there before, and what is the machines now? I know you like to use capacity, but a lot of people are like, well, how many washers? How many dryers? And we use capacity because some washers only hold 20 pounds of laundry and some hold 90 pounds of laundry. We like to put a good mix, and through our experience and our software that tells us what customers like, and trust me, customers are the same all over the country. They like the big washers because they can get a lot done and they have a lot of bulk laundry. So we have, in our industry as a whole, has just gone continually to manufacturing larger washers, which gives distributors the opportunity to sell larger washers, and which gives us as owners the opportunity to buy larger washers to provide those for our customers. And we have found that customers love them. And when customers love something, it goes right up the line, and manufacturers have made changes to meet that customer need. And therefore, we're just washing more laundry. We're doing a lot of the laundry and comforters that dry cleaners used to do. You can use one of our 90-pound washers, put your comforters in there for $12.50 and dry it for like $2.50. So you're in for what, $15? And at the dry
I helped
cleaners.
A couple last week. They came into Andrew, one of our newer stores. And they're like, we love coming here. Yeah, we can spend $15 on washing their giant king comforter. Yeah. And before that person had to spend about 3 times that much on having it dry cleaned, which took about 4 days. When you drop it off, come back, get it.
One of my friends hit me up last week who was trying to do those in their home washer, and it's just impossible. And they went and they were like, wow, this is incredible. So we love to get those stories and hear that.
There's more of those people out there than you think, because they are choosing to go somewhere else. But again, when you reduce the amount of friction, the amount of work that those people have to encounter to get their comforter clean, those people will show up in droves more than you anticipate.
So you're telling me more laundry in Lumberton's now being done than was before because we provide the facility to do that.
That's right. Okay. Yep. If you think about, like, I got gas at Costco a little bit earlier.
I use Starbucks as an illustration a lot of
times.
And
so, is there more demand for coffee? Is there more demand for gas? Yes. Are people driving more? No, probably not. They're just redirecting to where they go, and they might drive a little bit more just to get to the better gas station, in that analogy. But as you kind of asked a specific
number
question.
of units. Yep. How many washers, how many dryers? A lot of people want to know.
The layout of the stores are the exact same. So a 3,600 square foot store, we did it like horizontal style. Dryers in the backs. We could vent everything, duct everything out the back walls so that we don't have any roof penetrations. And we put in 26 washers. And of those, that came to 1,160 pounds of wash. So that's a pretty good size. We still have a lot of folding space, a lot of seating space. We did 4 of our T1450s, which are 90 pounds. We did 4 of our T900s, which are 60 pounds. We had 8 600s. So we found that in stores, our highest turn machine is typically the 600. And so we add just a few more of those. Of course, T1450s generate the most revenue because they're the highest priced. But
and just to clarify, the T1450 is a 90-pound washer.
90, yeah.
The T900 is a 60, and the 600 is a 40-pound washer. Just for in case you're with another brand, the T900.
The equivalents. Yeah. And so the T400, we have 4 of those, and those are 30-pound washers. And we did 6 of the T300s, which are our smallest washers at 20-pound washers. So the dimension of those, that all comes into play when you're thinking about a bulkhead and you want the front to have the same linear feet as the back, increase your capacity. So, yeah, there's a lot of science that goes into that, a lot of experience that we have that sets us up for success, to make sure that we don't put all of the 40-pound machines way over here, so that if you want a 60-pound machine and a 40-pound machine, now you're all over the store. It just helps with the customer experience when they've got this machine and this machine. They're 2 different sizes, but they fit everything that they've got. And, it works a lot better for the customer.
So with that 26 washer mix, do you know the capacity of all that?
Yep. So it's 1,160 pounds of wash capacity.
So how many dryers do I need, Lee?
Yep. So we put in 12 stack 50s. So that's 1,200 pounds of capacity, and then 8 80-pound machines. And so 640. So that's pretty good.
2 restrooms, and we're able to retrofit the dryer wall and use a lot of the existing,
which is really
not
nice.
so much for the washers. We changed the layout completely, which
use the
took
same
a lot of
use the same
grunt work.
drain lines and electrical coming up. We just turned everything. They were perpendicular to the front of the store. We like everything parallel with the front of the store. It just visibility. It makes it look so much better when all your stainless steel is facing the storefront.
Yep. But at one of those, they had an in-ground trough, so we had to, fill that in with concrete and redirect some things. But
so that gave us 32 dryer pockets, a total of 1,840 pounds of dryer capacity, which is just over 1.5 ratio.
Yeah, 32 pockets, but only how many units was it in dryers?
20.
20 total units. And that's because we run the stack 50 dryers.
Yep.
So the smallest dryer that we purchase now and install in our stores is a 50-pound stack dryer and the 80-pound dryer. Both we've found we just love those because our customers love those. We love whatever our customers love.
Yeah, and I like about a ratio of 2 80s to every 4 50s. It typically works out well from a capacity, from a linear feet, that if you have 2 80s and 4 stack 50s, mirror it, 4 stack 50s and 2 80s. It's a nice layout, spreads people out, gives them an option. We actually charge the same for all of our dryers just to reduce confusion.
And simple.
And make sure that everybody knows that every tap, they're going to get the exact same minutes, same heat.
I can hear them through this.
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
Are so dumb.
Oh, that's great.
That's
you
crazy.
Know how much revenue you're giving away?
I can hear
No, you know what we do? We
Right.
charge the 80-pound price on the 50-pound dryers.
Exactly. Because we want to be able to continue to invest back into our stores and provide it, and you've got to charge to do that.
Yes.
That's great stuff.
And so that capacity, those ratios work out nicely. I mean, that's a result of us having done this a few dozen times to know on a Sunday where are we going to have bottlenecks. So we know that if you don't have enough dryer pockets and enough dryer capacity, you're going to have people waiting around on dryers. They take longer, you get backed up, and so we want to make sure that we have plenty of dryer space to be able to have enough throughput on a busy Sunday when you're doing 10, 12, maybe 14. For us, that's about the most that we experience on a Sunday. And self-service on a busy Sunday.
So that is Laundry Express down in Lumberton. We did the same thing down in Laurinburg, but I want to talk about the operation. So a lot of these that we take over, sometimes these I wouldn't call zombie mats. They were just not, the owner wasn't hands-on with it, had hired a manager, the manager hired a manager, and then the manager hires a manager, and they're just And there's so many different
Lots
levels.
of layers.
There's a lot of layers, and there's just not enough revenue at the end for the owner. And he's like, that thing's not making money. A lot of times, nothing's verified. Almost every store we take over, there's not a whole lot of verifications. There was coin stores. The manager who was responsible for doing a lot of that was actually outsourcing that to one of the attendants. So they had keys. Multiple people had keys, and that was to save them trips and save them time.
Yeah, you get why those decisions are made. I mean,
Yep. And then they were strictly prioritizing wash, dry, fold.
The on-site staff who were, cleaning the store, but their main gig was making sure that they were doing a lot of full service.
And then the cleanliness of the store was just because all of their efforts were put in the wash, dry, fold. Yep. And, I realized why. They were actually, for cleaning the store, they were given the wash, dry, fold revenue. So they got 100% of wash, dry, fold revenue, but they were supposed to use their own coins. And that was a way for the owner and manager, they thought, to increase turns per day. But what it was is they were actually using the coin, the quarters out of the laundromat. They would open the box and take the quarters and start for wash, dry, fold. How do I know that? Because I went there for weeks as an insurance guy. When I'd go by, I'd say I was here for insurance or whatever, just to check out the store and meet the staff and kind of just to see things. And, I didn't wear my wash house shirt. I didn't want to tip anybody off. The seller had asked me to do that. So I've done that quite a bit. But I was able to see them open the thing, put it back, and start for their wash, dry,
And if
fold.
you're looking at buying a laundromat, that is a very wise, prudent thing to do. You will save yourself, you will save yourself so much money. The return on that time invested is incredible. If you'll just go, put your ball cap on, put a jacket on, take your laundry. Yes, take your laundry, go in, go once a week maybe twice a week. Take small little loads and just see how the business is operating. You can get a pretty good sense within the first 2 visits of, oh my goodness, this is a nightmare, or, oh wow, okay, I can see. It may be a current nightmare that could be a future nightmare, or it could be a current nightmare that has incredible opportunities, and you say, okay, well, if I did A, B, and C, if I took the keys, if I converted to card, if I added a couple big machines,
clean the place.
Now, you've now maybe purchased this laundromat for a pretty good deal if you can get them within reason. Invest a little bit of time, energy, and a little bit more capacity, and have yourself a good cash producing laundromat.
Good stuff.
Just with that little bit of time invested, like you were saying. You just go and you realize, oh wow.
And change is hard. So you come in and you change, and every staff member in every laundromat across the country, from Cleveland to Panama to wherever, I've been in all of them, they think they know it all. And they're doing it the exact same wrong way that they do in North Carolina, that they do in Vermont.
It's consistent.
It is so consistent across the board as I travel around and meet different people. But it's like, you can't do that. Well, we do it, and then we see the results. Customers are happy. We're serving more customers. More laundry's getting done. Well, how does that even happen if now you're not offering wash, dry, fold? Because maybe that wash, dry, fold and pick up and delivery customer, or for this instance, the wash, dry, fold customer, is actually hindering the self-service business. We have proven that. Yep. We've been open, 3 or 4 months, doubled the revenue.
Yes.
That is including the wash, dry, fold revenue. We doubled it. We asked wash, dry, fold. Self-service has grown enough to 100% cure it. And you're like, man, y'all are crazy. Yep.
I'm good to be crazy.
Yeah, we're fine to be crazy. But we help others do this in our boot camps, and we show them exactly what to do. And if you follow it, it's unbelievable. We just had one of our guys who came to our boot camp in end of 2022, and he took notes. He implemented everything we said. He took away pick up and delivery, wash, dry, fold. He installed a payment system that was coinless. Laundry Works he went with, and he raised his prices. He fired all the mean staff. He trained the kind staff to be kind, and we just talked to him. Because of coming here and paying the fee to us for one day, he grew his revenue in 2023 by 24%. It was almost $1 million laundry, so almost $200,000 in revenue increase in 2023. And he axed services, he axed staff and labor cost, but he paid his labor that did stay almost twice what he was paying them. So It was a benefit for everyone. Obviously, the customers like it because not only did he grow the laundry experience, but he grew revenue. And how do you grow revenue? Every dollar that's put into that card machine or swipe, that is from a customer.
Yeah.
So.
And he didn't do it just so that he could make more money. So the purpose wasn't just, I want to maximize as much money out of this as I can. No, he completely changed the experience for his primary customer. Yeah, exactly.
He changed his primary customer, kind of like we've done.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we know who our target customer is. We know who our primary customer is. And once you focus on serving that person really well, and that takes a lot of operational changes.
Trade-offs.
It's trade-offs. We've talked about that on previous shows before. And that's scary when you start to change all that up and think about it, implement it. It is scary, but just know the fruits of those efforts. You'll be happy come harvest season.
Yes.
And that's just one example. We have
dozens and
other
dozens.
people throughout the country, who have experienced significant changes, significant positive changes, increases in their business, their profitability, cash flow. Those things are
which
very,
warms
very
our
important.
heart and just validates what we do.
Yeah.
That's why we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing I did want to say, in the 2 stores that we bought, which we call Laundry Express in Laurinburg, we also bought the property on those. That's something that we are trying to continue to do just for long-term investment. Real estate in our area is still pretty reasonable, even with higher interest rates and things like that. It's still a good idea to be able to purchase your own owner-occupied real estate.
Yep.
And our bank's still there, happy with the way things look. So we'll keep on doing that.
Yeah, owners. The bank really likes owner-occupied properties. They know our business model, so if they know you're going into real estate, getting a commercial loan on the property is a little bit easier.
Yep. And you've got a history. You don't have to say, oh, well, these are the 3 tenants who are going to occupy the other 5,000 square feet, and we hope they keep on paying.
Yep. In these, I'll ask myself, we were able to keep some of the existing staff. So we closed for those 3 weeks, and they're calling us, when can I come back to my job? We told them it's going to be totally different. You're going to come back. You're going to have an interview process just like everybody else. And we ended up keeping, I think, 1 from each location and added on an additional 1 that was working somewhere else, came to work with us.
Yep.
But they were given an opportunity just like everyone else. But it is a digestive process, a learning curve for them. They're like, whoa, no, we do it this way.
Yep.
Nah, now you do it this way.
Yep.
And what they were doing it however they want because there was really no oversight. So, but once they realize you're going to put them in a T-shirt, you're going to brand them the wash house, they see the investment. You don't have to tell them how much money you spent. When they see the tile floors, the new machines, they're like, wow, this crowd is serious.
They also came to our Christmas party.
Yes.
Because we had
that happened right around.
Finished the acquisition around the same time. So that, like we say every year, you got to make it to the Christmas party.
Maybe we do an episode on the Christmas party.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
It was good.
Give really good ideas to a lot of people.
Yeah. Give back. It doesn't matter what scale you're at. Continue to give back, do right, especially by your team members. A lot of people say, well, I made money, I want to give to, where should I give it? Well, give it to your team if you can find ways to do that. If you have additional work, if you need to lock up at night. I was talking to a guy, he's like, one of my current staff members wants to get overtime and do that. Wonderful.
There you go.
It's fantastic. Love it.
A solution to a problem.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Well, this explains we did that same thing, just we went from 1, so in a month and a half, we were able to convert 2 locations, get them up and going, and they're both successful. And the third location we were able to get, it was a lease location from a friend of mine, and TJ, he had a guy who was trying to buy it continuously, and we were close friends, and he called me, he's like, hey, man, I know you said you were interested, and we'd kind of have a handshake agreement that we give each other first right of refusal. When we're selling a laundry, and we've sold 1 laundry, and we sold it to TJ, our friend, and he's a maintenance guy around, been in the industry a long time, good buddy. But he called, and we were like, well, what's the price? So he said, I just threw a crazy price out there. I think it was $230,000. It's a 1,800 square foot location, so extremely small.
Yep.
But what was of value to us is the location and the lease. So the lease was only
reasonable.
Very reasonable, like $2,000 a month. And we were able to sign. How many years did we sign? 20 years.
10 plus 5 and 5.
Yep. So 20 years there
Yeah.
off of Capitol Boulevard. We've got a location within a mile
between 2 other stores.
Yep. We've got a location almost a mile and a half each way.
Yeah.
So it's we've been open a couple weeks, and
which is similar to the store in Lumberton, which we call Laundry Express. That's about 2 miles from another store, which that store's 2 miles from another store. And if you think about the total gross revenue for those 3 stores over the past 30 days, it is well above what the gross revenue of those 3 stores was, 90 days ago, a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
So again, as you create a brand, as you, for us, have a payment system where your customer can come into the store, add value, and then take that card and they can use it at any 3 of those stores, that starts to grow your customer base. And not only your customer base, but again, like we said, the amount of laundry that they may be doing. So we're in an economic time frame right now where, people have enough money, they can spend it, and we're there to capture it when it comes to their laundry needs.
And we did, on all of these, do our Double Your Money promotion, which Trawick is the one here in Raleigh that we bought from TJ, 1,800 square feet. We exposed the ceilings. We actually kept 10 of the T300s that were Dexter. We added just a few machines. Our capacity there is quite lower because it's only 1,800 square feet, and we wanted to leave room for customers to move around.
We put some big machines.
We did.
Yep.
9.
Two 1450s, 4 900s, 3 600s, and then 10 of the existing.
And on the dryer wall, we were able to get 9 stack 50 dryers and 2 80s. Fit kind of really nice, really.
Yep.
And customers love it. We added a double door entry. That was just
the entry was there. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah,
it was a former pickup station for the dry cleaning side.
There's parking right over there, so we added double entry doors.
Man, that was a good day when we walked on that side of the building.
Probably HVAC we added. We probably spent
that was probably the biggest
$80,000 in the total upfit with tile and everything. HVAC, something like that, and then the equipment there. We only spent about $250 because it was a lot of the equipment we kept, and it was just not a whole lot of washers and dryers that we added.
We're at 740 pounds in wash capacity, 1,000 in dry, which is 1.4 ratio, which is great. The ratio is really good.
It's one of our smaller locations, but we think it'll be a high turn location, so we hope it'll get to.
In fact, it's 2 miles from one of our highest turns per day locations. So even taking a little bit of capacity off of that store will be helpful. And we're okay to do that. We don't cannibalize our own stores, but we definitely want to be our own competitor. And so if any business is going to move away from our store, we want it to be away from one of our stores to another one of our stores. Because maybe that person who was our customer at Tower, which is where this location is, they live and pass the Trawick location. Well, now they don't have to drive as far. They can go straight into Trawick, get the same experience, use their same card. And that's one thing about building a brand, creating consistency, which, again, adds value to our customer through that customer experience.
We hope you've gotten something good out of this episode. That's the last couple of months. 3 new locations. We continue to rinse and repeat. Every acquisition is kind of unique, but a lot of similarities in each. We've got several in the works now. Maybe they'll pan out, maybe they won't. We do have some land under contract, would be our first build from the ground up. So exciting stuff we'll share with you guys. Follow along. Thank you for following. Like us on all the platforms and share this YouTube video. God bless you guys.
Right. Thanks.